सर लाइव हाँ स्टार्ट करो ना.
मैं इंग्लिश में बोलेंगे.
Live.
Okay.
Welcome to you all journalist brothers to this press meet organized by the All India Trade Congress Goa State Committee. Today we are very fortunate. Amidst us, one of the very senior and tallest leader of the Indian working class, who was very active in the trade union movement of Indian working class right from 1961 onwards. He has held several positions with the trade movements in Bangalore-based like Hindustan Aeronautics and so many others. And he rose to the level of the working president of the All India Trade Congress, our national organization, and at the world level, Deputy General Secretary of the World Federation of Trade Unions, WEBTV. Until this, 2-3 months before, he relinquished all these posts because of his age and COVID affair. But still, he is very active, and he was here in Goa to participate in the National Safety Seminar Week and conference, and his auspicious has various. He is the vice chairman of that National Safety Conference, and as his auspicious had, various certificates were distributed yesterday at Miramar, Dona Paula, Telecom Center. We are happy that he is here and he will address you in this press conference. One of the most important aspects of his career, and of which I was also directly participant, is the 1978-79 struggle against the Bhutaningam Committee formulas, which was appointed by the then central government to decide what should be the policy on wages, prices and income. It was all aimed at freezing the wages of the workers. It decided that there should be only 100 rupees as a basic minimum wage of the Indian working class, which should be taken to 300 rupees in a decades. You know, their decade means the decades of that. And the same Bhutan committee made a recommendation that prices cannot be controlled, because if prices controlled, production will not get an incentive to produce more. They require prices to rise continuously. And income control, investment will be affected. So they cannot control the prices, they cannot control the income, but they can control the workers' wages. Against this policy, we had to raise a huge movement all over the country. And Comrade H. Mahadevan was the convener of more than 100 central and state public sector undertakings. And we ultimately won the battle. And today, this industrial DNS formula, which has come to stay, and crores of people are benefited, workers are benefited all over India. He is a hero of that movement for me and for the Indian working class. Various positions that held is known to you, so I need not. I request Comrade H. Mahadevan to address you and place before you the present day problem before the working class movement and challenges, and how we are trying to face those problems. Comrade H. Mahadevan.
Good morning to all of you. As already told my friend, I have been associated with this movement for quite some time, some decades. Now he has explained some portions of it. I will not go to the past. I will come to the present. What is the present situation today? Modi government says maximum governance, maximum privatization. Maximum governance and maximum privatization. and attack on labor laws, repealing the labor laws, and to help the corporate sector is going on there. Privatization spree, that is the defense production, major ports, petroleum, natural gas, railways, airlines, airports, electricity, steel, highways, telecom, postal services. All these things are getting gradually sought to be privatized. This is one. There is a budget has come now recently. You can see the inhuman criminality, curtailing Narega, ICDS, and other social security schemes are being curtailed, even in the recent budget also. What is the overall situation? The overall situation is government has time and again proved pro-corporate and anti-labor character. Pro-corporate under the guise of labor law reforms, the labor courts have been brought in, 29 labor laws are finished, and then in that case, the 4 labor courts have come. They are in a sense anti-worker, anti-people and anti-woman. There are no tripartite discussions for the last so many years. Every year there used to be Indian Labour Conference. After Modi's coming, only 1 year it was there. Thereafter there was no Indian Labour Conference at all. After 2014, no Indian Labour Conference, a tripartite body to discuss various issues. It is not taking place at all. And then this is the character of the government. The Indian Labour Conference was every year used to be discussing and taking out since 2015, as I said, the right to life and right to dignified life is a fundamental right. That is not sought to be taken away. Minimum wages are not protected. For example, the government of Karnataka recently brought out a labor law amendment. What is that amendment? People can work for 12 hours. Every day they can work for 12 hours, not 8 hours. And then if they work for 4 days, 3 days holiday will be there for them thereafter. All the women should work whole night everywhere. With or without production, it is there. This is the Karnataka Act. It was passed without discussion in the assembly. All the parties which are there, they were in support of the capitalist class. So they discuss in the name of production. This is what has done. Unemployment is rampant, it is further accentuating. Labor dispute mechanism are diluted. Unorganized sector of workers who contribute 95% of the workers are worst affected. You know the pandemic period, lakhs of people went by walk from here to Bihar and other North Indian states, from Bangalore and South India, etc. There this thing. There are 2 organizations. One is Nidhi Ayog, other is DIPAM, that is Department of Investment and Public Asset Management. These institutions provide statutory sanction to the government's ill-conceived policies. Many profit-making PSUs ought to be sold. Prime Minister has declared some time back, it is not the government's work to run the business. The government is only to do the business. They will not run the business, means they will not run the government entities. It is what the Mr. Modi has said. Most importantly, there is a bill which has come, which is called a pipeline, National Monetization Pipeline. That is one of the things which is important. It is because under the National Monetization Pipeline, everything can be brought in. Now, for example, they have done away with the standing orders for the people less than 300 people, the labor law amendment. Most of the industries are covering this 300, less than 300 only. There is no standing order for them. So Goa, there are many industries, we know that. There are no standing orders, so employer can do whatever they want. It is essentially the coverage. Now the National Monetization Pipeline is a privatization route for everything at a later stage. We fought against it, continue to fight against it, but still the government policy is this, is being a pro-corporate policy. Now one of the important point is, as I said earlier, recently the central trade unions met in Delhi and then declared you should go ahead with some program of action. As I explained the present situation shortly, I mean in a short way. Now what should be done? One is Indian Labour Conference to be conducted, which is not done for the last from 2015. One conference was there. Our Gurudas Das Gupta, who was the AITUC General Secretary, he shouted at Mr. Modi, "You spoke and went away, you don't listen to us." That's what he said. And he went away and looking at both sides. Afterwards, there is no meeting at all. This is what has happened. And so we want Indian Labour Conference, which is statutory position, should be conducted. And ILC has done many recommendations in the past. 42nd, 43rd, 44, 45 ILC recommendations. They were discussed in 46. They are not implemented. That is the position now. So we wanted the unanimous recommendation of the tripartite body should be implemented. Labor codes which they have brought now, abolished in the act, that should be stopped. I don't know. Now the new general elections are coming. They only made some rules. They have not implemented it, but we are very firm on that. In the Defence Employees Federation, when we are fighting, they brought an act that is called Defence Services Act 2021. We want this to be removed. Universal pension scheme should come, most important. Unorganized sector, there is no pension scheme at all. Organized sectors themselves is in difficulty. So we want universal pension scheme for the unorganized sector. And then the old pension scheme, new pension scheme, you also know that. We want the old pension scheme to be scrapped, and both central and state government employees should be brought under the NPS, new pension scheme. About stoppage of privatization of public sector, once upon a time, when Pandit Nehru used to say, public sector are the modern temples of India. Temples of India are made in Ayodhya and some other places. Modern temples are getting closed. That is the Modi's formula now. And then I already told you, National Monetization Pipe Scheme. There are many burning issues are there. The government, the central trade unions have taken a decision to start a year-long program in a phased manner from April onwards. There will be a year-long program that will be decided by all central trade unions, to some extent barring BMS, but some places BMS also comes. Otherwise, AITUC, CITU, INTUC, HMS, UTUC, UTUCLS, all DMK union, all of them are together in this. So this is the situation today, and we have been fighting in the national level. And I believe in Goa also, our comrades who are here with a vast experience, with their vast participation in the struggle, they are also continuing the same struggle in a different way, because their industries are small. At the same time, government is trying to do away with it, the local government also. So this is the present situation, and in which we have been going. I have come to Goa for a different purpose. There was yesterday and day before, there was a National Safety Council. I am the vice chairman of this program was there. We gave away the prizes to hundreds of best working organizations. I also gave away a number of prizes as the vice chairman. So this is the purpose. So I thought I would also meet our friends here. If you have got any specific questions, please tell. I will answer that. Thank you. You want to add something?
No, first let them put the questions.
Okay.
If for the local issue you can answer.
Okay. I didn't elaborate. I only.
Just
For
touch
local you
upon
can
the
add.
local issues. In Goa, we are very much concerned the manner in which the onslaught has been launched on the working people, not only by the employers, but also by the state machinery. Now, my senior comrade has already elaborated how this present system is attacking the working people. They are amending the labor laws, they are making it more employer friendly, they are extending the working hours, they are allowing the women to work in the factories in the night shift. All this is there. But in Goa, presently we are facing a very severe threat, and that is a matter of serious concern. Police interference was never there in a trade union struggle. The employers are now using police as a shield to break the trade unions, to dismantle the trade unions, and undermine the trade unions. And we have experienced it recently in one of the industrial estates in South Goa, where police have come when we have specifically told the police that, look, we are going to hold a gate meeting at such a such place without interfering with exit and entry of the particular factory, a multinational factory. The police have come there and they have stopped us from holding the meeting. This has never happened in Goa, and there are clear directives of the Supreme Court. A right to form association,
Right to collective
a right to collective bargaining. These are the fundamental rights. And what business the police has or have to come and stop the gate meeting when the Supreme Court has clearly said that any gate meeting, a peaceful gate meeting, cannot be interfered with by any authority unless there is some kind of law and order situation.
We didn't want police protection.
We never asked police protection for the gate meeting, but we just intimated them. This is one thing. Secondly, the government is silently helping these employers in undermining all labor laws.
Openly.
And the way they are doing it, we are very much concerned. The moment the workers do the union, they are transferred. Now, 3 big multinational companies, they have recently joined us. What the employer have done, they have transferred them. 23 people to Himachal Pradesh, Baddi, Sikkim, and the remotest place where there is no transport connectivity. And what is the reason? Reason is the formation of the trade union. We are opposing this. We are asking the government, because these companies are not paying workers proper salaries. They are asking them to work for 12 hours, but they are paid for 8 hours. If anybody asks for leave, what they are saying, you have formed the union now, no? Go to the AITUC, they will sanction your leave. Is this the way the employer has to behave? And what the government is doing, the entire machinery is silent. There is no inspection in the factories carried out. The deliberately workers, when they are denied overtime, they are silent. Why they are silent? When we ask the question to the law enforcing machinery, they say no, we have got the directives from the government not to carry out inspection. This is not acceptable to us. We request the government that put all the machinery in place, see that no violation of the rights take place of the workers, and if this continues, we will go for the bigger agitation in Goa, and that will have repercussion all over the state of Goa. Secondly, we are demanding that the minimum wage, which has not been revised since 2016, March 2016, needs to be immediately revised, because the price escalation is such that you cannot cope up with the salary which was paid in 2016. 307 is the minimum wage that is paid for the unskilled category, with little bit of DA of 90 rupees or something. That is not acceptable. We want the salary to be revised scientifically on the basis of the inflation, the market prices, and all other transport, transport is very high, education is very high, food items are very high, petrol is high, electricity is high, water charges. How do we pay? A person who works for a family and who is supposed to maintain a family, a 3-member unit family, how he will pay his family or take care of the basic needs of his family with 307 rupees, with 90 rupees escalation? Cannot be possible, because 100 rupees is the petrol per liter now. If somebody wants to go from Mapsa to Verna, he will have to pay or shell out 200 rupees only on petrol.
Recently increased again.
Yes. So this is not acceptable. We want the government, because they are delaying it for quite some time. If the minimum wage is not revised in the state of Goa, AITUC along with other trade unions will hold a massive demonstration in Penzim to pressurize the government to notify the minimum wage. Thank you, comrade.
There is a Supreme Court decision long back.
1990.
Non-payment of minimum wages, if it is there, that employer cannot continue.
Yes.
Payment of minimum wages is a must. Supreme Court decision is there. These people don't follow. And the revision of minimum wages also should be done in a periodical way.
Periodically.
That is also told by the Supreme Court. But unfortunately, many governments don't do. Recently in Karnataka, our trade unions in Karnataka worked out a scientific formula. What should be per day? They worked out that and then gave this to the assembly. And we told the chief minister to in this session, but nothing has happened. The Anganwadi, the Asha workers, and many other people are there. They are very big in number. Of course, the budget is reduced for them by Siddharaman in this recent period. Still, they are not getting the proper wage. We say there must be basic minimum wage should be available to Asha workers and all. They can't be denied. So these are all the multiple attempts by the center and the state. That is what we say. At the center, we all joined together. We have given a call for agitation. Similarly, Goa also, he has already explained the after effect. I told you about the monetization pipeline scheme. It's a very dangerous scheme. The measures are being taken by the government to privatize the public sector undertaking, and state government and the government department through corporatization are not at all the increase of the national economy. The trade unions, we have already said, you stop this, these are not there. The latest national monetization pipeline aimed at opening over the entire infrastructure sector to the economy, so private corporation virtually free to earn revenue from them without refrain from such exercises and prevention. Why I am saying this? This is going to be a future pipeline, not a pipeline, it's a weapon going to be used by the state government and central government in the future. It is when it goes further, we will show. Because Modi says, it is not our business to run the business. Businessmen will run the business, we will make business with them. That's all. They will only make business with them. That's the unfortunate situation now. So, seemingly they are all interested in many things. Opening the old temples, new roads, and closing the old industries. And on the infrastructure, this is the situation. We are progressive trade union. AITUC is in the 103rd year now. We have already completed 100 years and more, 103rd year. We have got a saga of big history, and many national leaders were in the AITUC, as you all know. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the president of AITUC. P.V. Giri was the president of AITUC. And Lala Rajpati Rai was the president of AITUC, founder president of AITUC.
And Subhash Chandra
Bose was the president of AITUC. There were many people like that. So, we have come with the national movement as well as the organized movement. We were a part of the independence struggle in those days. So, we will continue to be the independence of the people, workers. So that is the historic position AITUC is placed in. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sir, how long you people will wait for this wages? Because from last 6-7 months we are hearing.
Same thing, yes. We have given the ultimatum to the government that immediately you have to notify the minimum wage, and if it is not notified, then we will take all the trade unions and like-minded people and go for the agitation.
We will denotify the MLA's wages.
On 27th of February, Labour Advisory Board's meeting was held, and opinions of all the concerned parties were exchanged. We have insisted that these minimum wages, which are due for revision for a long time, has to be revised immediately. Government is buckling under the pressure of the industrialists here, and many are actively trying to persuade the government not to implement it or at least delay it. We warn the government that this will be very dangerous game they are playing into the hands of the employees class here. There is a anger growing among the working people. More than 250,000 unorganized workers will benefit if these minimum wages are increased. We just discussed about the dearness allowance formula. In Goa, this dearness allowance formula was linked to the minimum wages only from 2016. Earlier period, there was no compensation for rise in the cost of living was given. And this compensation by way of dearness allowance to unorganized workers is totally inadequate. That time in 78-79, it was decided for every pound rise, 1 rupee 30 paise. And now what has been linked is 0.95 paise per pound rise. So there is a total injustice to the workers.
They are
And therefore-
changing the base year every time and reducing it. Reduce.
And even there are manipulations in compilation of the consumer price index numbers.
Index fraud.
Index fraud, we call it. But whatever it is, even to that they are not implementing. So anger is growing. We want government, we appeal government to release or implement revision of minimum wages immediately without any further delay. And we are not going to tolerate the new policies which employers are adopting to remain union-free atmosphere for their concern. We want unions have come to stay, and AIBA more than 103-year-old will see to it that the workers form the organization and defend their rights. We have fought when there were no labor laws and created this labor law. These labor laws are getting diluted, and government and management is taking advantage of it. In spite of that, we are going ahead and defending the rights of the working people in Goa. That's our determination. And we want government not to play with the organized working people's patience. They have to implement the call immediately. Thank you.
Sir, what do you think? Why they are not willing to take Indian Labour Conference?
I don't know. The Modi doesn't address the press conference. You know, normally his chelas are doing that. Modi will have to answer in the Indian Labour Conference as the Prime Minister. It is not Labour Minister, some unknown person, no. Prime Minister should proceed over the Indian Labour Conference. He would answer the people. There must be issues framed. They must discuss this. 2014, once he addressed, brought his own audience, sat there and went away. Then Gurudas Das Gupta, our General Secretary, questioned him, why are you going away? You should listen to all of us. That's the end of it. They never called thereafter. So many years are over. Every year it should be done as per the ILO convention. Tripartite meeting should be held. Nothing is done. On this issue, what he said, minimum wage. We are prepared to sit together. Let them bring their experts. We will have our own expertise. We will prove that what is the minimum wage required. That we can do that. They are not prepared for it. You see, it is a pro-employer government, both at the center as well as here. Not only pro-employer, anti-labor government. When they say anti-labor, it is the anti-people government. That's the real thing. So we have to fight. We request all your support. Thank you.
Thank you.